from the looks of everything, the way that MPD looking at this, they looking at it as if Yo Gotti didn't pay Big Juke. He paid Daddy O because everything was still registered to Daddy O name. Daddy O was the one who put Dolph on. Daddy O and Yo Gotti is best friends. And I know a lot of people miss that. Y'all can't miss that. I know y'all ain't missed that. Daddy O and Yo Gotti is friends. Who you think? You think that Yo Gotti wanted to make it seem like he gave his own brother the money to do a hit on a famous person who used to be with his clique? Young Dolph was never signed to CMG, but PRE was an affiliate of CMG when he was going out doing shows and basically opening up for him.
Exactly, and like I told y'all, man, the pictures with Daddy O and Yo Gotti actually hanging out and everything before all of this. When Young Dolph didn't want to do no work with Yo Gotti after that concert backstage, when Yo Gotti approached him and he just got off the phone with Jay-Z to make the offer. Dolph declined it. That's when the plan B kicked in. You got to remember, plan B is when they said, okay, we're going to send Daddy-O to him and make it seem like he actually a big dog from the streets, the same hood Dolph from. And he's telling him, I want to get in with you. I want to make sure that we go big with this business, man, half and half. He said, I took all the bread from the streets, man. I put it up. I want to put that into, let's go with your thing, PRE. Yeah, I want to get in on that. Then that's when they try to trick Dolph into actually agreeing with Daddy-O, man. You got to remember this whole entire time when Young Dolph was going to the podcast and saying, we just won PRE, we got PRE, it's clear in his name. Why would there even be a conversation about PRE not being owned by Young Dolph all the way up until a week before he gets sent up? We all thought that Dolph owned PRE, clear and free, because we never seen Daddy-O come around the whole time. You got to remember the pictures of Yo Gotti and Daddy-O in the Nashville bars. They was up there. The pictures came out. This is early in the PR. This is before Key Glock and everything. So why is it that, how did they keep Dolph from not knowing that CEO Daddy-O was actually tied to Yo Gotti? That had something to do with why they deleted all the previous pictures. If you go and look at why Yo Gotti cleared his whole Instagram that day, that as soon as Dolph gets hit up, 5 minutes later, he delete the Instagram, man. And it's because Daddy-O and Yo Gotti is right there together. And if you zoom, nobody ever looked at it until now. This is the reason why Key Glock wasn't sent nowhere to actually check up on anything, because the one thing that they made sure to do was to make sure that they got Dolph's phone to make the calls in, because they need the passcodes.
And this is why Key Glock didn't show up, is because the same reason. And I'm going to kind of take y'all back down memory lane. Ooh. Look, we're going to go back down memory lane. I'm going to let y'all know. Didn't Dolph had a situation where he had to check in to Daddy-O to spend his own money? Young Dolph was trying to spend his own money that he worked for. But what did he have to do? Check in to Daddy-O to buy Key Glock a chain. And this is when Key Glock was first starting off, and Dolph kind of made a big deal about it. This is right when the hit got started. This is when Blac Youngsta, Yo Gotti, Raven, 901 Trigger Trade, everybody, they hopped on that plane. And y'all already know, a plane from Memphis, one commute, you can have a one-way ticket or you can have a round-trip ticket. It's going to be under $500. So Makita Raven then was like, this is a free trip. Why not? And we already know 901 Trigger Trade. He saw Big Juke waiting across the street in that parking lot. He saw Big Juke parked across the street. So this is why I tell y'all, all of them is tied to it. When you look at the fact that the feds jumped in and the feds already said, like, this had to come from somebody within the inside, because no one can infiltrate from on the outside if they don't know what's going on the inside of something. I want you guys to really look at that, because Young Dolph, when he went to that center, everybody, they was looking at him like, yeah, man, we heard about the previous beef, but we still gonna look at you like a businessman. This is why Young Dolph took it so seriously.
Exactly. And if you go back and look at when they started PRE, Young Dolph was still in the streets getting money, man. He couldn't have go into the places and put his name down on it. This is the reason why, boom, Big Juke, he was actually the one to come up with the idea to send Daddy-O in so that he could say, oh, well, I'll put my name down for everything. And then this is the only reason, because Dolph knew in the back of his head, he still had to go through those loopholes of getting somebody who was going to be the face of the thing to the accounts. 2 weeks before Dolph gets sent up, he talk about he just got PRE cleared in his name and everything. Adolph Thornton Jr. They signed it off and everything. They had a secret debriefing. After that, it was supposed to be the houses, the 50 houses Dolph bought. Remember, every year for Dolph's kid's birthday, he buys them a house. A full house, not a fixer-upper, a full house, man. He had bread. So the whole thing is that everything was still in Daddy O's name. This is the reason why he had to call to get clearance to buy anything for Key Glock, to buy anything for himself, to even get the cars. Every time Dolph went and got the camel wrap car, he had to get Daddy-O to clear it off, man.
He was around people that he knew. He was familiar with these people. They had on masks, but he knew them. The girl with the red scrub suit on, this was the main one who basically gave Young Dolph a hug when they took a group picture. Once she gave Young Dolph a hug, rumors speculated that she went in Young Dolph's back pocket. And then after she went in his back pocket, she basically, she got right on her phone. She put something in her pocket, and then she got right on her iPhone. And she got an iPhone 12, so you know the text messages get sent out immediately. I'm talking about as soon as you hit the send button. It don't take time for it to be delivered or the blue line go at the top of the screen of the iPhone. I want you guys to look at that because Dolph ain't think that old girl was texting somebody, basically let them know Dolph here now. When he leave here, he said he going to Ruth Chris.
And this is why the timeline got messed up, because they didn't want you to know exactly what time that they was going to be going to the Ruth Chris and exactly what time they left, anything like that. This is why the Turkey Drive address was changed. Big Moochie Grape knew that they had the U-Haul and it only was going to be a one-day rental. So they only had a few hours until the place closed and everything like that. They couldn't have the turkeys and the frozen ice in the back like that overnight. They had to make the drop-off that same night, man. And this is the reason why the whole thing, nobody tells you the time or anything like that. At this point, it was already, Dolph family said he was missing for 2 days, that he had not came back home for 2 days. He was wearing the same clothes at the Ruth Chris as he was wearing in the cookie shop. And so it don't matter. A lot of people say Dolph has a lot of clothes. He could have changed into a Dolce & Gabbana fit. He could have did that. He had everything with him from the whole music video props. Like they had the costumes and everything like that. So something made it to where Dolph didn't come home that night. And it's got something to do with the fact that he got set up, man. And people got to understand and realize that now they opening their eyes to the facts that everything that went on is actually been hidden. And due to the things that actually played a role in the Dolph hit, the people out there know exactly what happened. I'm talking about the folks who seen him. They seen him going around, leaving the place after the interview where they took his keys and everything like that. Whoever that lady was texting, the dude finally pulled up, and that's when they snatched Dolph up, man. And that's when they told, because right after that last interview he did at the center, they said he was supposed to go to the Big Moochie Grape Turkey Drive at the community center. That's where he asked for a ride because they couldn't find the keys. They all thought Marcus Thornton dropped the keys outside somewhere, and it be in Memphis, that somebody just picked them up and ran off with it. But the whole time, since the girl had it, then when they get done with the interview, they got to go to the community center. So that's when they say, oh, I could give you a ride, Dolph. If you don't got your keys, we could take you there. That's when the dude who lady called from the FaceTime and the text, he pulls up, still had the thing over his face so you couldn't see him. But he's the one with the waves. He's the one with the waves and the crisp cut in the lineup. So we know for a fact that he actually pulled up and wore the scrubs backwards. Like he had on the shirt that they get to the patients that you have to tie a knot on the back where it's not even a button up or nothing like that. Then they went outside, and that's when they last seen him going into the Bentley truck.